Another tough week for the market, but I got to tell you, there's certainly more signs of resolve, and you can also see opportunity. And the word you keep hearing over and over again is uncertainty is used extensively every time someone opens their mouth. But the fact is, the journey of life is filled with uncertainty, right? You can buy a stock buy the stock of the hottest company in the world, and the next day they can issue an earnings warning. Believe me, I've been there. You can grow a crop of the best seed ever, and it will fail. You can open a business with a great product, and it just never catches on. I know we don't like uncertainty, but even the simple act of crossing the street carries a degree of uncertainty. With me now is the author of You Will Own Nothing, Your War with a New Financial World Order and How to Fight Back. Well, it feels like we're trying to fight back against the establishment or the world order, and the world order is controlling the media narrative, and now people are turning on the folks that, like we had a Fox poll this week, and overwhelmingly over 50% said the government's way too big, they're wasting money, inefficient, and then 65% said, but Doge is being too ham-fisted. So it's still interesting, right? That we all know that the government is too big, but do we have the resolve to do anything about it?
You know what I think it is? I think it's like a relationship. It's all about communication. I think if there were better communication about what was going on, this would all go away. Because people were feeling very optimistic about the administration, about Doge. They were expecting deregulation and tax cuts, all of these things. And then all of a sudden it was like, no, we'll do that, but we're going to do this first. Right. And nobody really understands why that's happening and what the choreography is.
You know, I was just talking to Dana Lash yesterday about on her show, and I was explaining, and I probably should have done that more on this show myself. I think the reason the tariffs came first is because you have to be, I don't know that many people know that we took in $264 billion from Trump 1.0 tariffs, and most of it was under Biden. Right. And so there's a certain amount of money that's going to come in that you will offset with the CBO scoring for tax cuts. So when you get that number, then you can have the number, because even though we know the CBO is really, listen, we know it's not really great. It is what Congress used, particularly those in the Senate, to justify their actions.
Yeah, I think it's also, the high dollar, getting that down, which obviously that worked, the yield on the 10-year. I think there are some other things around that they were trying to attack at the same time.
And it worked. Scott Bessent has been really strong about, hey, don't look at the stock market, look at Treasury yields, look at oil, went from 76 to 66, look at the strong dollar, it's come down. So the key components that they really want to see to make this thing work are moving in the right direction.
They are, and if they communicated that, then they wouldn't get the dip in the stock market, they wouldn't get the sentiment pulling back. And that's where I'm the most concerned, because if you get that pullback and you don't get the revenue, even if you get the tariff revenue, then what happens? You don't get as much receipts. If the receipts go down, even if you Doge, you could end up widening the deficit. And I think that's one of the reasons why investors are a little bit concerned here.
So then where would you like to see things go? We've got just a little bit over a minute to go. You've been advocating, though, for a lot of the things that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so I would like to see a little bit more on the choreography side, and I'd like a pullback for Main Street. I would like for them to say, we're going to focus on tariffs, but we're going to focus on it for national security. We're going to focus on it for big business. But Main Street, we're going to give you a break, and we're going to pull back here. And you know what? We're going to make sure that we have deregulation. We're going to make sure that we get these tax cuts in order. And then I think people would feel a little bit better about the path that we have going forward here.
Are we positioned, though, potentially for a stronger second half once some of these things get into place?
I think it depends on how long it goes for and how they communicate it. If this is really more out of the deal and we can move past it, absolutely it bounces back. But if it goes on for too long, that sentiment becomes self-fulfilling.
And small businesses that you're talking to?
They're concerned, and some of them are getting hit with these massive tariffs and something that they can't handle. So they're
already getting hit?
They're already getting hit.
So some of them didn't even go into place officially. Some people are hiking prices just to say, whatever.
Yeah.
Carol,
always good to see you, my friend.
Always.